All right, welcome back to another episode of Ham Radio on the Go. And in today's video, we're going to take a closer look at the ATS 25 Max Decoder. We're going to take it out of the box. Join us. Okay, welcome back to the channel. Now in this video, we're going to take a closer look at the ATS 25 Max Decoder. We're going to do an unboxing and first look. We're going to fire it up and get our first impressions from this radio. Very intriguing radio with a lot of upgrades. Great to see some of these types of features coming out in shortwave and ham radio transceivers and receivers, and that's what we're going to do. A couple of weeks ago, I did a sneak peek on this radio. We went through mainly through some of the specifications and talked about the radio. And at that point, I had just ordered one and was waiting for it to arrive. And guess what? It's arrived, and there it is, the ATS 25 Max Decoder. And we're going to open it up, do an unboxing, and take a closer look at this radio. There's the sticker right there, ATS 25 Max Decoder, made in China. Took a couple of weeks to arrive, and that's what all the hype is about. A lot of speculation on this radio. Lots of questions, more questions every day on this radio are popping up. But there's the manual. Let's get right to it. There's the manual. Right off the bat, I'm going to say it's a decent manual. You could freeze it right there and take a closer look at some of the stats. It's a decent manual. Forgot how many pages, 17, 18 pages, something like that. And has lots of information. Lots of graphics, lots of screenshots there. You could slow it down, pause it, and take a look at it yourself. And if you lose the manual, there it is. There's the FM broadcast. Well written. I think you're going to find it useful. Lots of features. This radio is feature rich. Very intuitive screen. Touch screen with the stylus. You're going to see that later. Like I said, the manual is pretty beefy. We're not going to be able to answer all the questions on this transceiver in this video, but we're going to get started. There's the keyboard. Lots to do. All right, let's get started with the unboxing. That's your antenna, telescopic, BNC, able to make it directional there, 90 degrees. You can swivel it around depending on where you have it stationed. There's your USB cable, USB-C quick charge. A lot of controversy on that. Getting some feedback already on that cable. We're going to get into that. And there's your antenna for the Wi-Fi. That's your Wi-Fi antenna. And there's your stylus. Came pretty good package. You could see it was well packaged, well insulated, foam cutout, and then a foam barrier on top. So it was shipped correctly. There's the back of the radio. You got the antenna. You got the on and off switch. 3.5 millimeter jack. On the right side there, you got a switch to go from FM broadcast to shortwave, ham, and your USB charging. Nice speaker, top firing speaker. Great case, aluminum grade, machined case, metal. High quality, I like that. There's the back again. We're going to fire up this radio. We got the BNC connected in the back. And there it is. Look at that screen. It's one of the highlights of this radio. You press it in and you go right shortcut to the volume. There we are on 20 meters, 14.260. And tune around the band. Alright, right off the bat you see me tuning around with the tuning knob. Not very intuitive. It's going in the wrong direction. But I did hear there is a software update for that, which will make it, instead of counterclockwise, it'll make it clockwise, which has a more intuitive feel. And there we are on the 20 meter band again. Second issue I have with this radio, you're going to see that with that supplied telescopic whip antenna, which you think is pretty beefy, you're going to see in a minute, doesn't really pick up shortwave. So we're going to have to attach a long wire. You could either attach a long wire to the telescopic antenna, and that's what we're going to do today to get some signals. Or you can just, with a BNC, go right to the back and attach some sort of long wire with a BNC adapter. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what we're going to use for a shortwave and ham antenna. We clip it right onto the telescopic antenna. So that's my first con on this radio, that supplied antenna is basically good for just FM broadcast only. Okay, I'm going to attach the long wire, see if we can improve that shortwave and HF signals coming in to the ATS 25 Max Decoder. Okay, and there it is. We're back on 20 meters, and let's tune around. It is a little confusing with that dial going counterclockwise and up in frequency. But we got to look into a firmware update. That's what I'm hearing speculation about, that you can do a firmware update and it corrects that problem. So that's one minus that could be corrected. Big one is that antenna. It is deaf on shortwave and HF bands without attaching a long wire antenna, and I'm assuming that you attach right into the BNC a long wire, and that should take care of that problem. But it would be nice that it would pick up some of the louder stations solely on the FM on that BNC whip antenna that comes with it, but it doesn't pick up anything on shortwave and HF, and that's a big minus. And here we are on 14,260 megahertz, the 20 meter band. Sorry about the display there. That's my shirt. That's changing the display there. Didn't see that, but that's just my T-shirt. The display is great, and even in daylight, as you can see, even obstructed with a loud T-shirt, you could still see that display. All right, now we're on the AM broadcast band, 540 kilohertz, and giving it a test on the AM broadcast band. All right, we got the stylus out. We're going to see if we can get around some of the menus, start to explore this radio. You can do a direct key function. You can do a direct key input, go on a specific frequency, or you can hit ham bands to get into the ham bands. There's also a CB button that you could press on the stylus and get right into the 40-channel CB band.
Took place out in Queens. An officer in the hospital with a leg injury. Two brothers have been arrested in what turned out to be a road rage incident. We'll have more on that in a moment. But
okay, like I said, now we're on the FM broadcast band, and look at that reception. Amazing reception with the telescopic antenna. Okay, I'm going to keep messing with some of the menu functions with the stylus. Kind of an odd angle there, so I can get the display on the camera. Okay, as I continue to mess around with the menu, I want to tell you there's a recap to follow. Overall, my thoughts about this radio. Pluses and minuses and pros and cons and that sort of thing. That's coming up at the end of the video. But first, one more thing. I want to get into the CB band, the 27 megahertz. There's a direct key button to get right into the US 27 megahertz 40 channel CB band, and that's just a little look at that. And here is the long wire that I was telling you about. That's the only way you're going to copy shortwave and HF amateur radio ham bands, is with a long wire. There's one of the pros, that nice touch screen. Pretty bright, because as you can see, I brought it outdoors, and you can still see it in the daylight. All right, my overall impressions on this receiver. This is my second video on the ATS 25 Max Decoder. And what I was told about, it was confirmed. One of the big minuses to this radio is that antenna. That antenna that comes with the radio is only going to be good for FM broadcast. That's a big thing. You won't copy any shortwave, zero shortwave, not even the big stations, the megawatt stations on the shortwave band. You're going to have to attach something to that telescopic whip, or get yourself a long wire with a BNC end and go right to the back of the radio to pick up on. Once you put the long wire, it receives very nice. The speaker is very nice. And that's one of the bigger drawbacks to this radio. Like I said, the tuning dial, it's kind of not so intuitive, but I heard there's a quick fix to that. And then the other problem that seems to be popping up is the feedback I'm getting on that USB cable. Apparently, that might be the only way to charge the radio with the internal battery. So if you know more about that than I do, please comment below. That's going to be the next phase on this radio. I'm going to be testing that out and getting into the menus more with that. Comment below, like and subscribe for future videos of ham radio on the go. Don't forget, check the description for additional content on today's video. 7-3 everyone. Thanks for watching.